Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? So glad to be here today. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Patricia Hayes, and I am an executive advisor, career empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. And I am so excited to be here today. As you can tell, I am not in my usual space because I am traveling, having had the great opportunity to come support my daughter in her endeavor. So I'm super excited. And as a result, I am here for a different location, but still all the great goodies that you need in order to empower yourself as you move forward in up leveling in your career and in your business and all those things, those dreams and goals that you're looking forward to achieving. So I'm super excited. I want to jump right in here because I've got some great goodies here for today, as well as making sure you clue in for Wednesday. And before we get started, just a reminder that it is a new month. And so I always encourage you to reset, to do the reflection work, and to engage at another level when it comes to up leveling your professional relationships, your professional growth. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend that you check out the 30-day networking consistency challenge. It is a great refresher for anyone who's needing to get refocused, who needs some direction and some support in order to get themselves set up to go to the next level in their career, in their business, or you're just like, I just really need to re-engage with my professional relationships in a more significant way. So happy to talk with you more about that. And if you need more support, always reach out to me. Okay, love to get that off the front because I know sometimes people are watching this on the fly and may not make it all the way to the very end. So that's it. Today we are talking about leveraging your network for the power of leveraging your network for others. This topic has come up several times over the course of the last few weeks, even though it didn't present itself as a topic, it actually presented itself as a variety of situations. And it just clicked in the last couple of days. I'm like, all of these things fit together. And so I wanted to do it because, as I stated, for this month, we're really going to focus on going with those real life current situations, not just teaching moments, but bringing those real life moments in so that you can learn from them and know that this is not just me talking off the top of my head, but these are the things and the situations that come up in our everyday life, and so that you can know and see how relevant they are. So like I was saying, at least 3 times in the last couple of weeks, this particular theme has arisen. And most recently this weekend, like I said, I'm traveling and I was able to see a fantastic show by a group of women. They're called the Syncopated Ladies. They are fabulous, top extraordinaire, and they're just beautiful. They're powerhouses. You just need to go check them out. There are not enough words for it. But as I was listening and watching, and I knew a little bit about their story, but I learned so much more during the course of the show. And the part of the show where they start talking about how they got to where they are and the people and the places that helped to get them there. And as I just really started thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this links up with so many situations that have been active and going on in the past few weeks. So as they went further into telling their story, I learned that one of their mentors and people who really helped them along their way was Debbie Allen, the renowned Debbie Allen, who is a famous choreographer and actress, and just a wonderful all-around person and philanthropist as well. And so they were exposed to her. She learned about them, and she supported them and started exposing them to her network. Fast forward to the last couple of years, one of the dance numbers that they put together was to that of a Beyonce song. And Beyonce saw it and put it on her platform, her social media platform, was like, hey, these ladies killed this performance. And then getting to know them a little better, she actively said, I want to support you in what you're doing. And she then gave them access to her network of connections and people, her platform via that way. Just help them to go viral in just this absolutely insane way. Um, and so it was just the power of that and thinking about, wow, being giving access to someone else's network at those levels, right? And someone say, well, I don't have Debbie Allen sitting over here watching out for me, and I certainly don't have Beyonce. Well, here's how I'm going to bring it home. And then we're going to talk about what all three of these situations have in common. So, a second situation that came up in recent weeks, but also not just recent weeks. This is probably the second or third time it's happened in the last year, where I've been contacted by a parent who is saying, "Hey, I have a child who is graduating from college, graduating from a graduate program, and I really think that they can benefit from working with you." Now, here's the thing. These are people that I know or that they know me, and they saw the issues that were coming up for their student, their child, and they're like, I think I know somebody who could at least point you in the right direction. And they've reached out to me, right? So that's the second story. The third scenario is even more personal, where I have a friend who recent weeks came across some issues and was like calling me to say, hey, I need access to a really solid attorney in a specific area. Can you help me? And that's when I was like, hold that thought, let me see. And then I proceeded to make some phone calls to reach out to some people that I know, and was able to get them connected up with with some help. Now, what do all three of these things have in common? First of all, there was an unmet need. Whether it was exposure at a greater level, whether there was access to someone who could provide some support, as well, or as it's getting access to a specific level of expertise that someone needed. Here is the thing always to remember and to look out for is there's so much unmet need out there. Where can you tap into it and be of service to others? Okay. And, y'all know my philosophy about serving others and how that circles back around to help you. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want you to think about identifying what the unmet need is out there, just as it arose in each one of these situations. And then, which leads us to the second thing, that there's access to or the ability to influence a solution, right? So it wasn't necessarily that the person who identified the need had the actual solution, but they had access to someone or something who potentially could provide a solution to the problem. All right. And be able then to influence that solution because they were able to bring in someone else who could then address the unmet need. Then the third piece of this is where there's a willingness to utilize that influence to provide help. And this is so important because this is where a lot of people get caught up because they don't necessarily want to use their personal influence to help someone else because they feel like it's going to take away from them in some way. And that is unfortunate because that is very much tied into a scarcity mindset. Now, here's the thing. None of us are perfect, and it comes up. I will own it. I've had those experiences myself, right? Where I'm like, well, what if? But when you let go of that scarcity mindset and that thought of, well, what am I going to lose, or could I lose something in this transaction? And instead flip it to, but hey, what are the things that not only I can gain, but the person I'm trying to help can gain? It just totally opens things up to a totally different way. So I want you to think about it in those terms. It doesn't have to be big or substantial, but it just needs to be real and actionable. And here are the benefits of when you engage at this level. First of all, it gives you the ability to expand your network because of what you are able to reach out to, the people you are touching. And it's so powerful that just by being a part of that process, because that process I just described, there were at least three entities involved every time, right? The person who initially met the need, the person who had the need, and then the third person is the person who could actually address the unmet need. Think about that. That is so powerful in and of itself and so quickly. And you can start expanding your network by being open, by being making yourself available in that way. The second thing here is that it increases your influence. And people not take advantage, but they take for granted the level of influence that they, not just that they have, but how others perceive it. Right. And sometimes we don't even recognize how much influence you actually do have with someone or on someone. And so don't take those things for granted, right? Whether you are giving it or whether you are the recipient, think about how powerful it is that because you are become a part of this giving circle, that, for lack of a better term, part of this giving circle and this sharing circle, how important that is, because that influence, by showing that you're willing to help someone else and to pull someone else into the picture in order to do it, increases your influence on both sides and then spreads. Okay. Because people know, which is the third thing, that it strengthens your trustworthiness and your expertise. And someone would say, well, I don't, what about those parents? They didn't have an expertise. Sure, they did. They knew enough to say, I can't help my students in this way, but I can reach out to someone who I think can, or that can put them in the right direction, right? So that may be, but their expertise may be being willing to step aside and to use a little bit of wisdom to bring someone else into the picture, right? As well as if you are working with other people or someone's reaching out to you, they know that they can trust you in some difficult situations, right? When you're going through career transitions or trying to up level in your business, all of these things, sometimes it gets a little rough. You're having some not so pleasant experiences, but you do need help. You do need to be able to reach out to someone. And if someone reaches out on your behalf, or you reach out on someone's behalf, guess what? You are increasing the level of trust that someone's putting in you, to know that, because they're now saying, it's that whole thing of being able to acknowledge someone who says, thank you. I trust you to reach out and to speak on my behalf and to allow that to connect up. Okay. And that's always that key factor. It's not about sticking your nose in where it's not wanted, because it's about the motivation that you have when you are engaging in this giving circle. And if you're motivated by trying to help someone else get to the next level, what is that thing about things, all those things that come around in karma? It's so powerful, and it's so important to make sure that you recognize that power and that influence when you are engaging in it, and how it can play forward. Because just as you are willing to help someone else, guess what? Someone else will be willing to help you as things come along. And again, that circle just continues to feed itself. So there we are. Not a whole lot of in depth. I just wanted to stay pretty surface level and bringing forward that there is so much power in leveraging your network for others, because number one, you bring forward that influence, that knowledge, those relationships, and when you're utilizing them to help someone else, it you rise as well. and the person you're trying to help. And so it just is a powerful moment and ability to come full circle, to utilize your relationships to do what they are meant to do, right? In order to strengthen people, places, opportunities, present them to others, and bring them along so that we can all achieve our goals and dreams that we have, before us. That's what I have for you today. So that said, I look forward to following up with you in the next couple of days. Check things out. Keep an eye out. I'm posting things from my visits. So go check out my Instagram stories if you want to follow me there. Some of those make it over to the Facebook as well. So you might want to go check it out. And if you have any questions, if you need any assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always here. It's just an email, a DM, a private message away. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you all in this brand new month. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.